Welcome back to my channel. It is a downright nasty day here at Cigar Exploration Headquarters, but I need to drink some whiskey to stay warm. It is in the 30s, it is snowing. Not nice here today. So I have got a cigar for us to look at. These Oliva Reserve Robustos. So this is a similar situation. They come in this store-ready, display-ready package. You may recall, we already took a look at the Nub Connecticut's. They came the same way. It tells you how to display it at your store. So this is the Oliva. Same price as the Nub. The Oliva and Nubs are made in the same place. So here's what it looks like. So let's get one out of here. Get one out of its package here and take a look at it, open it up. It's a 5x50. It says it's sealed for freshness. It's a Nicaraguan stick. I'm sure everybody's had these before. Most people have smoked them. If you recall, these nubs were cut. They were pre-cut. So I expect that these Olivas will be pre-cut as well for convenience. It says sale only allowed in the United States. Got a lot of information on here. These would be nice. I paid the same thing for these as I did the nubs. 5 for 25, so $5 a piece. I'm literally shivering out here. Let's get this opened up. All right, it's no longer sealed for freshness. It's opened up. All right, so let me take a look at it coming out. Oh, okay, so it is cut. That's what I figured. It looks like a punch cut on this one. I think the nub had a straight cut, unless it was a punch that just resembled a straight cut because it was maybe a bigger punch. Let's get it out of the wrapper. It's a nice looking little stick. It smells typical. You get cedar, tobacco. Yeah, smells good. There's that cut. And here's the foot end. It's the cigar band. The Oliva Reserve Robusto. Connecticut shade wrapper on here. Ooh, it's tight. It's got a pretty tight draw. The cold draw, not really getting much, to be honest with you. Just tobacco. It's a nice smooth wrapper on here. This thing's really nice. It feels nice. All right, let's get it lit. What's everybody doing today? Anybody else see my breath? Anybody else as cold as me? Where you're at? It is freezing here. Need to drink some whiskey, so I thought, why not smoke a cigar? And these just came in the mail. I just ordered them, so I figured, what the heck? Let's make a video. Hope everybody's doing well. What are you guys drinking? What are you guys smoking? Let me know in the comments. Just gonna toast this guy up as much as possible here. It's a really stiff stick. When you push on it, there's almost no give, especially in the second half. This first half is a little softer. The second half, though, is really stiff. It's really smooth, very mild. Does not have a very good draw. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but it's definitely not wide open, which might be a good thing. I've mentioned that before. Could be good. You spend some more time with it. Doesn't burn as quick. It's pleasant. The retro is nice and smooth, nice and mild. There's nothing really there. To be honest with you, I mean, we're not very far in this thing. We're a 1/4 inch, but this is about the smoothest, kind of most mild, giving me nothing cigar I've had in a while. Might not be a bad thing. That's why I explore these sticks on the channel, so that we can decide if this is a cigar that would be good for you, and I decide whether I'm going to ever smoke it again. For $5 a stick, figured it was worth a shot. It's reserved judgment though. Let's let that thing kind of get into it a little bit before we start trashing it too much. The whiskey I have today is a rye whiskey, Sagamore rye straight whiskey, small batch. See down there, this is a 93 proof straight rye whiskey. Gives you the bottle number. Move my face so we can see it. The bottle and batch, and then who bottled it specifically. This bottle is just gorgeous. I mean, you see on the side here, it has Sagamore stamped into the glass. It has 1909 right there. The shape of this bottle is just so unique. I've had my eye on this for a while. Interesting story about this though. So this was on sale in my PA liquor store for $35. Normally $40. I bought this and a couple other things at the same time. Got home, looked at my receipt, and was charged $40 for this bottle. So even though it was supposed to be on sale for $35, I paid $40 for it. So I could take this back with the receipt for $5, but I just don't even think it's worth it. I'll make it up somewhere else. Comes the cork pull. Pretty good cork pull. Pretty nice looking cork too. It's a real cork. Has the date stamped in there. All right, let's get some in a glass so I can maybe get warmed up a little bit out here. I am somewhat excited for this whiskey just because I've never had it and I've seen it around quite a bit. So I showed you the back already. Take another look at that. I'm just assuming without reading it that in 1909 is when this company was started, when they first started distilling whiskey. Doesn't actually smell very good. Kind of has that little funk on it. If you've ever had a whiskey that you first open up, sometimes it has like not a mold smell, but like a kind of like a mildew smell a little bit. And we'll see how it is. We'll let it in the glass a little bit. This whiskey's from Maryland. Let's take a look at it here. Blend of 2 straight rye mash bills, aged 4 to 6 years in high char American oak barrels and proofed with limestone filtered water from our spring house built in 1909. Okay, so that picture of the house, that's their spring house that was built in 1909. Maryland made rye whiskey prioritizes a grain to glass process. Okay, so it's telling me what it tastes like before I taste it. It says caramel, honey, brown sugar, with warm spice, which I need right now, and honey. Honey linger through a mild oak and faded fruit finish. This better be good, because they're talking a lot here. They're talking about a lot of different stuff going on. It says distilled and bottled by Sagamore Spirits in Baltimore, Maryland. So they are distilling their own whiskey, which is always a plus. I think years ago now that whiskey was kind of, everybody was buzzing about it, about the Sagamore, and I think everybody's kind of had it by now, and it's just sort of calmed down a bit, but we're going to explore it today. Yeah, this is an extremely creamy, mild cigar from Oliva. I've had other Olivas, explored a couple on this channel. This one is extremely mild. Like I said, not necessarily a bad thing. Let's try this whiskey. I can't wait anymore. It's literally getting cold in the glass here. All right, so I still get that little funk on there, but it's not as bad. I suspect this is one of those bottles that after I go back to it in a couple weeks, it'll be much better. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. Getting a lot of typical stuff. I mean, it said it right on the bottle. Caramel, honey, sweetness, which they described as brown sugar. I would just say it tastes sweet. And then you get a little mild rye on the back. That's pretty decent. Not kicking that out of bed. It's pretty good. Let me know in the comments if you guys have had any Sagamore stuff. I know they have. I could be wrong, but I think they just make rye. They don't make bourbons or any other kind of whiskey, just rye whiskey. Let me know if you've had any other ones. I know there's 3, 4, 5 of them on the shelf in my liquor store. Different ones. Saw that one was on sale. Expected to pay the sale price for it. And I guess the system wasn't updated or whatever excuse Pennsylvania has. Pennsylvania has literally the worst liquor store system in the country, is, in my opinion, the worst. I can't think of one that's worse because it's a state-run organization, and from our experience as a human society and group here, we all know state places suck. So sorry if you work at a state place, or if you work at the liquor store in Pennsylvania, the fine wine and good spirits, but your stores suck. They suck. I'm just too lazy to go out of state every time I want to get whiskey. My man Bruzel on YouTube just tried to film in Pennsylvania. I don't know where exactly he was in the state, but they wouldn't even let him film in their stores. And why not? You have a website that anybody can access. It gives you all the prices. It's not like it's some secret. Their prices and their selection are right on the website. Yeah, I'd say this is a cigar for non-cigar smokers because it's so mild. It has a very light draw. And it's a Connecticut too, so it's gonna, that's why it's so mild. It's very tight. So the ash is hanging on, but not by much. It's starting to kind of fall off there. Again, not trashing these cigars. For the price, for $5 each, I think this is an okay, stick. If you saw this somewhere for $9, $10 or more, I wouldn't pull the trigger on it. Maybe pick up something else. Maybe go for the nub. It's been snowing for a few hours here. Luckily, it's not laying on the ground. The ground must be too warm. It's just turning into slosh. I consider this the first snow, though, in Pennsylvania. It's late November, so not quite Thanksgiving, but it's typical. I mean, we get snow here before Thanksgiving. Yeah, the most enjoyable thing about this cigar is is the wrapper. Is putting it in your mouth. The feel of it. very smooth. I'm gonna cut it, even though it has that cut, and I take back what I said, or I guess I don't take it back, but it looks more like not a punch cut, just a straight cut. But when I had it in the packaging, it looked like a punch cut. So I'm gonna get my cutter all yucky now because it's all wet on the end, but I want to cut this thing again just to see if I can get anything better out of it as far as the draw. I really don't want to start beating up this stick, but it's just really not giving me the draw I want. Yeah, it's not any better, which is, I should know better. It's never, well, it's not usually that. I mean, it's as tight right here as any other cigar I've had problems with where it was tight. I mean, it is just like, you can't even push it. I'm not exactly Hercules, but I'm not a wimp. Well, maybe with bees, but I mean, you can barely squeeze it's so tight at the end. Which is a shame, because I bet you this thing is very, if you could get more smoke off of it for somebody like me, I bet you it would be pretty enjoyable. You probably can't hear that in the video, but it's cracking. You can hear like a snapping noise in it. That's my method for when they don't draw good, is to just bite it. That may have helped a little. All right, my feet are just like frozen. And again, I'm just complaining to complain. I knew what I was getting myself into. It's not like I thought it was gonna be 60 out here. So what my brain does all the time when I'm doing this kind of stuff is compares things. So if this Sagamore is 40 bucks, you know, it was 35, but I paid 40 for it, so it was $40. That Wiseman rye from Kentucky Al is only 40 bucks. And that Wiseman rye blows this one away. Again, not bad. Wiseman has a specific, very concentrated rye spice flavor, where this one's more mild. If I'm drinking a rye, I kind of want to drink rye. Like, I'm not afraid of the rye spice. I like it. So if you're looking for quality rye that's mild, this could be the way to go. And if you're looking for quality rye that's intense, maybe go for that Kentucky Al Wiseman. I've had that on my channel 2 times before. That's how good it is. And again, I could pop up here on 2 weeks from now and make a video and tell you how great that rye is after it opens up. I like to open the bottles on here, and especially if I've never had them before, to explore them with you guys for the first time. Yeah, I mean, it's a good cigar. It tastes good. It's just very mild. I'm just not giving me what I want as far as the amount of smoke I want off of it. Not in a hurry, but I'm also not out here to sit here for an hour. Figured I would dip out, try one of these guys, since they're kind of on the smaller side, 5x50. It looks like it's giving me a ton of smoke because you can see my breath, but it's not. I mean, you can see it's not like, I mean, we're about a third into it, maybe. It's not bad. It's a casual smoker's cigar, though. It's definitely not for the I mean, it's for whoever wants to, you know, it's for you if it's for you. But for me, I probably wouldn't go back to these very often. I would probably, if I saw these in a gas station or a store, I would probably go for something a little bit more intense. I mean, the nub had a lot more flavor than this does. Yeah. I mean, it's a neat package. We talked about that a lot in that nub video. If you didn't watch that video, check it out. Let me show you the two packages next to each other. Made in the same place in Nicaragua. Maybe I'll go on a little hunt, see if I can find these in the wild and see what they really cost, you know, once they get their markup. I don't know what the markup is on cigarettes and cigars and, you know, budget cigars. And I mean, I have no idea. 20%, 50%, 100%, I don't know. Yeah, leave me a comment on the whiskey or the cigar, you know, or any experience you've had with prepackaged cigars. I'd love to hear, you know, if you've seen stuff like that. I mentioned 100 times I saw a Cohiba Blue packaged like that. It didn't look quite like that. It was more fancy. You could like see the stick. It wasn't in a closed pouch like that. It was like displayed in like almost like a thing like this, but it was just one cigar in there, and obviously it wasn't as big as that. 5 for $25, you know, exploration. That bottle though, that Sagamore bottle is really nice. It's got such a cool shape. It's just very unique. Looks like they spent some money in manufacturing the bottle. And it's not bad. It's just, there's other things I'd pick for $40, that's all. I get 0 brown sugar. 0. Not even like a hint. There is maybe some underlying fruit in there. I don't know what it is exactly. Might be like an apricot or apricot, however you say that. It's very mild. It's not apple. You know, it's not like banana like Jack Daniels or anything. It's whatever it is, it's very mild. And I'm just getting a ton of caramel and honey. And then a little bit of rye. A tiny, tiny bit of rye. It's got some age on it too, and they distill it themselves. So, I mean, you got to give them credit for that. For both those things, the distilling and the age. This cigar band's not terribly ugly either. I mean, it's not the prettiest one we've seen on this channel, but it's decent. I know Olivas are usually expensive, or can be expensive. Oliva's got their hooks in me though because of that Master Blends 3. I mean, that cigar's so good. I'll just probably keep going back to Oliva just to hope to find another one like that. Nothing else of theirs, including the nub, really knocks my socks off. I did order a nub Maduro and one or two other kinds as well, because we tried the Connecticut nub, explored that one, so have another nub or two coming up, just because why not. Yeah, very mild retro, which isn't, again, it's not a bad thing. I prefer the mild retro. I would also prefer a little more flavor, though. I know I'm flip-flopping a lot on this stick, but I think I want to like it more than I do. All right, let's take this band off here. Comes right off, no problem. Which says Oliva, Connecticut. The other thing going against this whiskey right now is that it's so cold. I waited till the very last minute to bring the bottle outside so that the bottle wouldn't get cold. The glass was like frozen, so I guess it really wouldn't have mattered. But it's not very warm, so that could be playing a part in not letting the aromas and flavors out as much as it would be had it been like room temp, or at least a little warmer. Because it doesn't have much on the nose either. The nose is really mild. Well, the weather could play a part in this. It could have something to do with it, but I don't know that my pairing's that good today, to be honest with you. I thought I knew the cigar would be mild, but I thought the rye was going to be more intense, and I thought they would pair well together. A little mild on the stick, a little bit strong on the drink, but they're both just coming off as pretty mild, pretty boring, both of them actually. We're good together. I took a sip of the whiskey and then a puff off the cigar. That was pretty good. All right, well, a little bit of a shorter video today. I'd planned it to be anyway. The cigar is on the smaller side, but I'm gonna finish this thing off camera and then get inside where it's at least a little warmer than out here. Thanks for stopping by. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hopefully next time you see my face, it's a little warmer. Like I said, I've got a nub at least coming up, a couple other things. Take care of yourselves and each other. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.